Oh, you can't really see it because of the glare. Mm-hmm. Mic check 1 2 1 2 3 4. Mic check.
Mic check 1 2.
Oh, okay, good. We're good. All right, cool. Yo, what is up? What is up? Yo, sorry I'm late. I was rearranging. We got a new setup here. So this is in my studio. I had a friend of mine gift me this thing that holds your MacBook up, like on a stand or whatever. So I'm using it, and this is in my studio on the side, and just kind of put it together and was kind of playing with it, and that's why I'm late. So also just spilled my coffee, which is fantastic. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I got to clean this up real quick. Spilled a little coffee here, so need to get this cleaned up while I was doing it. Oh, great. Muy bueno. Gotta love it. Okay. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so yeah, this is the new setup. Still got the TV on that side. But like I was saying, welcome guys, the Daily Crow, Tuesday, November the 3rd. Hope everybody's doing well. So basically I got gifted this thing that holds your MacBook up, which is great for like posture and not having to bend over, stuff like that. But was thinking to myself, I was like, maybe with the angle now, with the height, that's the only reason I didn't do this before, because the height was all messed up. So I put it on here and just play with it. And, now we've got to, see if I can change this. Take the, there we go. Like I said, maybe take some of the glare off the, so we got the, I love this. We've got the, the dry erase board here. So anything we want to put up there and say we can do. Got Big George behind me. We got the books. I feel very professional right now. Yeah. So we are going to watch the Will Muschamp presser coming up at 12:30. Going to tune into that as we do each and every single Tuesday. But obviously taking your questions, comments, calls, guys. I will put the number in here. Sorry, I'm just kind of scrambling. Like I said, I spent the last 30 minutes playing with this. So, yeah. Hope you're all doing well. Like I said, we got the TV. I felt like the background could use a little bit of, I thought it could use an enhancement, just the television going. And probably I'll start doing this for the podcast too, when I do interviews and when I do whatever. I think it'll be, honestly, I think it'll be a cool touch. So just improve, always trying to improve, always trying to get better. So would love to, if you guys feedback, I guess you guys like it. SC Football 2, the pod this morning is great as usual. I wouldn't mind if Luke did start, but I won't lie, I feel bad for Ryan. I hate to think his career at SC might possibly be done. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Colin Hill's going to be the starter. I think it's all just internet rumor. I don't think there's really truly any validity to it. But I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how much changes. It's crazy how much can change so quickly in college football. Because again, this time last year, Ryan was anointed as the next guy, and now he can't even see the field. I mean, who'd have ever thought, right? So. it just is what it is, and that's big time college football, and competition comes in, and things change and stuff like that. And I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, if I had to predict right now, like if I had to say, I think he probably will transfer. By the way, the phone lines are open now, but I think he probably will transfer. Unfortunately, I think he probably will transfer, and that's that. So let me know. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about the new setup. Was a little bit late because I was kind of trying to get this fixed. Got the brand new Mac stand, which gave me the capability to enhance the setup a little bit behind us, so it's not just going to be the TV or whatever. And we got the dry erase board. I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. So we can put literally whatever on here. So if we want to just, what do you guys want to put on here today? Fire must change. Let's see. What do you guys want to write on here? I don't know. Taking your questions, comments, calls, by the way. I'm just kind of having fun with the new setup. Oh, God, I can't write for crap. Dang it. Should have brought a napkin. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, whatever it may be. My handwriting is garbage, especially on this dry erase board. All right. I don't even know if you guys can see that. I don't know. Well, either way, you can see it now. Kellen Mond eats Starburst with the wrapper on. Hashtag beat Texas A&M. So there we go. That'll be for today. I don't know. I'll try to work on the lighting because you guys can't really hardly see it. That ring light is kind of tough. Anyways, that is the new setup. As you guys can see, I'm having fun with it. Let's see. More Carolina items on the shelves. Whatever. I'm gonna play with it, obviously, and you got Big George back there as well. But this is to let the people know he's a well-educated person, right? You've seen all the people on ESPN. They have all the books behind them. Billy Vincent, if I would have said our offense would average approximately 30 points per game at the beginning of the season, you would call me crazy. Bobo looks like a good hire stat-wise. Our defense is the problem. Dude, I totally agree. I've said that before many times. If you'd have told me at any point this season that we would be averaging 30 points per game, I would have honestly said you were crazy. Like I even said in the preseason, I wasn't sure if this offense would average 20 points per game. And we're averaging 30? If you'd have told me in the preseason that this team would average 30 points per game, I would have told you easily this team won 5 games, at least 5 games or more. So, Bruce Atkins, how will the staff defend against A&M's mobile quarterback? That's a great question. You're going to have to use your athletes on defense, getting after Kellen Mond. You're going to have to play discipline, play in your gaps, contain him, obviously, but make him throw the football. Your secondary is the best part of your defense. Make him throw the football. Well, I say it's the best part of your defense. You have some weaknesses, but I guess I'm thinking mainly Izzy and JC. You got to find a way to contain Kellen Mond, though. You got to – I'll tell you this, man. I don't want to see a South Carolina defense sit back again and just let A&M do whatever they want. Like, I really want to see South Carolina attack, get after the quarterback. I just don't think you're going to have a whole lot of success if you just sit back there and let Kellen Mond kind of do what he wants to do. So you got to bring pressure. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. Any quarterback, any SEC quarterback who just sits back there and has time to throw, he's going to pick you apart. So, and Kellen Mond, a senior in this league, he's been around a while. He's beaten South Carolina 3 times already. You give him all day to throw, he's going to pick you apart. So McGowan Mason, favorite option for head coach next season and what to expect against Texas A&M. And if that happened, I mean, Joe Brady's at the top of everybody's list, I think. Billy Napier, Heupel from UCF, Matt Campbell from Iowa State. What to expect? It's weird. I have a weird feeling on this A&M game. I was going to ask that on social media if anybody else is feeling this way, but I don't know. I really just don't know what to expect. I feel very meh on this game, and I don't know why. And I do. I think part of the reason is because we had back-to-back games where we were so fired up with the Auburn game and talking about the opportunity that was there and the potential of this football game. And then LSU, obviously, we're all amped up and fired up for that. I'm kind of back to where I was going into Vandy. Like, I'm just very, like blah. Like, I don't know what to expect. I really don't know what to expect Saturday against Tech. I don't know which team's going to show up. I don't know if it's going to be Jekyll or Hyde. I don't know if it's going to be the Gamecocks football team that beat Auburn, or is it going to be the team that got trounced by LSU? I genuinely have no idea. Scotty No says, Muschamp said they worked on defense over the break, but how much improves in 2 weeks that should have been fixed in the offseason? That's a great question. That is honestly a great question. So we'll see. That's a great question. Carolina Warrior says, today is election day. How about a debate of our own? Colin 2020 or Ryan 2020? Who will win the quarterback election this season? Colin leads the polls. I think between those two guys, I go Colin Hill. And I went on Mark Ryan's radio show yesterday on ESPN Upstate, and he asked me this question: what would be your quarterback depth chart right now for South Carolina? And here's the thing. I'm not out at practice. I just play the guy that gives us the best chance to win right now. So that's I understand people's argument with, Ryan's going to be here. He's the future, whatever. Like, I totally understand that argument, but who gives us the best chance to win right now? There's a reason Colin won the job over Ryan Helinski. To me, if you're going to change quarterbacks, if you're going to go for something different, you got to go Luke Doty. That's the guy that gives you the different dynamic offensively. I don't know what Ryan Helinski gives you that Colin Hill does not. I don't think anything. And again, there's a part of me that feels for Ryan, but this is a business. You got to play the guy who gives you the best chance to win this weekend. Now, listen, if Colin goes out there and plays like shit, by all means, put Ryan in. But there's a reason Colin won the job. There's a reason he won the job. And I heard from people that were at scrimmages and at practices, guys, they told me that Colin Hill was a full letter grade, if not more, better than Ryan Helinski. And that's coming from people that know the game of football. So you tell me. You tell me. So SEC football too. I just want to beat A&M. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I'm so sick of losing to Texas A&M. It's just, yeah, I'm so sick of losing to A&M, man. It's hard to justify your program is headed in the right direction when you have a 6-game and maybe possibly a 7-game losing streak to anybody. I don't care who it is, but you got a 7-game losing streak. That's just a tough pill to swallow, man. Clayton Michael Borner, thoughts on Georgia-Florida outcome this weekend? I think the wrong team is favored. Yeah, I like the Gators. I like the Gators to win this football game. I love Georgia's defense and everything. Don't get me wrong, but quarterback play is what wins football games. And I like Kyle Trask a lot more than whoever Georgia's going to try it out there on Saturday. So, let's see. Tyler Knoll says depth chart, Colin, Luke, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Honestly, probably at this point. I think so. Yeah, so you can't read the sign. I got to work on the lighting. This is the new setup, John, but the sign reads, Kellen Mond eats Starburst with the wrapper on. Hashtag beat Texas A&M. I don't know. I got to fix that. I got to figure that out. Got to figure out how we can get the lighting to, because like obviously it's the ring light. You need the ring light, but it's, well, there we go. That's better. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just got to position it correctly. That's the thing. Damian Burrows tired of hearing about the quarterbacks. Doesn't matter if our defense doesn't tighten up. What can we do to improve? I mean, I agree 110% with you. I mean, we got to tighten up defensively. That's the big thing. That's the big key for this football team is you've got to figure it out defensively. You just have to. I mean, you're averaging 29 points per game. And again, I know Colin didn't play his best game against LSU. No, I mean, for sure. For sure. He didn't play his best game, but He's not the problem. Luke Doty's not the solution. Ryan Helinski's not the solution. I don't give a damn who was at quarterback against LSU. We wouldn't have won the game. Bottom line. So, I just don't, and I know it's popular and it's the fun thing to do to come after the quarterback position and all that good stuff, whatever. I totally get that. But, it's just, I don't think it's going to be the solution that fans want it to be. We'll put it that way. So. Let's see. Tyler Knowles at a page at a Woody. Yeah, I mean, something like that. Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool. I had this downstairs on my fridge. I'm like, why not? Let's see. SEC football too. We'll see what happens with the quarterback job this weekend. Still think Colin will start, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Ryan or Luke in there at some point. Dude, I love. Listen, that's the one thing I want to make clear too. I love the idea of getting Luke Doty on the field more. I love that idea. I love the idea of getting Dak Joyner on the field more at the quarterback position or wherever. Get the ball in your best player's hands. Get the ball in your best athlete's hands. Like 110%, I agree. I'm just saying as far as changing the starting quarterback, I just don't think that's going to have the effect that maybe some fans think it will. You've got to play better defensively. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You got to play better defensively, period. So, let's see. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys a question because I've seen a couple of comments on YouTube the past couple of weeks. And obviously, here's the thing. You guys that listen to the podcast, the ads we have on the show have been increasing. And I want to make clear that is a very good thing. When there are ads on the show, that means the business is thriving. And when the business is thriving, I can do more. We can do more with the business. Things are good, right? I mean, I think you guys know this, but this is my full-time gig. This is what puts food on the table, whatever. But I've seen some people on YouTube with different people complaining about the amount of ads and stuff like that, whatever. And I will do this if there is a demand for it. And I said this to the people on YouTube. I have the Patreon page. If you guys want to pay $7 a month for an ad-free experience, listen to the show with no ads, let me know. Let me know if that's something you're interested in, because again, it's something I never really thought about doing, whatever. But if there's people out there that dead set, they don't want to hear ads, I will offer that. I mean, so you guys let me know. Like I said, I've just seen those comments and every podcast has ads. It's just bottom line. You got to have ads. And especially with this year, it's 2020. The ads are the engine that keeps the business side of things going. And I think most of you understand that, but hey, if you don't like hearing the ads and like I said, if there's a demand for it, if there's people that want to pay $7 a month on Patreon to get an ad-free experience, you guys just let me know. DM me, comment. I mean, I'd love to hear from you because I just didn't know. I didn't think that would be a thing. I didn't think that would be, something that people would clamor for. But if it is, let me know. Like I said, I'd love to hear that. So anyway, I just want to get that out there because I saw some of those comments this morning. Ronnie Ferguson, I say Doty should have played against Vandy. What if he comes in and gets the ball out faster and avoids sacks? I just can't watch these sacks all again this year. I mean, yeah, that's certainly the biggest criticism of Colin. I mean, obviously he has no mobility. The guy is a statue back there. We all know that. Because you can say pass protection needs to be better, and it certainly does. But when you get into a scenario where you're in an obvious passing situation, and these defenses can just pin their ears back and go. I mean, you're asking a lot of any offensive line to deal with that and to protect Colin. The defenses know he's not mobile. They know he can't run. I mean, it's a tough situation. So I trust me, I definitely understand that. I definitely hear you on that. And a lot of his sacks have been drive killers. Just bottom line, they have been drive killers. But I almost worry, like for the people that maybe want to start Luke Doty, I almost worry more for Luke Doty's progression and development as a football player. Like, I don't want to just throw Luke Doty to the wolves. I don't. You know what I mean? And I get it, though, in the sense, like, yes, he's a scholarship player. He should be ready to go. That shouldn't be an excuse. Totally understand that. But at the same time, like, you want to look out for the kid. You don't want to put the kid in a bad spot, in a bad situation where he's being thrown out there before he's ready. So, I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen for Luke Doty. So I don't know. I do want to see him play, though. I want to make that very clear. I do want to see Luke Doty play. No questions asked. Yeah, SEC football too. Appreciate it. I mean, like I said, I just wanted to throw that out there. If there's anybody tuned in right now that if the ads bother you that much, and like I said, you want to pay $7 a month for an ad-free experience, by all means, I'll do it. I mean, I will do it. I'll gladly do it. I just didn't know there would be a demand for that because, I don't listen to podcasts nearly as much as I used to because obviously I create a podcast, so it's a lot different. Like you're not, you know what I'm saying? I'm more producing the show versus consuming other shows. But when I do, like, for example, I'll listen to stuff like Joe Rogan, Tim Ferriss's podcast, which I have his book back there. I'll listen to Fade In sometimes. I'll listen to Eric Kimry's podcast. I like getting Eric's take on the X's and O's side of things. I just skip them. If I don't want to hear the ads, I just skip them. So, I mean, it's that easy. Anyways, let's see. McGowan Mason, agree on Doty. Don't want to push him in like we had to with Ryan. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm not saying Luke's not a great athlete. Like he couldn't do some nice things for you, but he's a true freshman. How much are you really expecting to get out of this guy? So Solo Bowen, yeah, I'm going to cut on the presser here in 5 minutes. It starts at 12:30. So yeah, we've got 5 minutes. I'm going to cut on the press conference. Yeah, we're going to be doing that every single Tuesday. So Savannah Webster, what's up? Having a busy week. What's up with the Doty rumors? Again, I think it's all just rumors. I think it's all just internet banter, message board mania, if you will. I don't think there's validity to it. I'll be interested to see if Will Muschamp addresses it. I mean, somebody's got to ask him, right? Somebody has to ask him about these Luke Doty rumors or whatever. But until I would be utterly shocked if anybody other than number 15 is the starting quarterback on Saturday. I'd be utterly shocked. Now, does that mean Luke Doty won't play more? I hope he does play more, but I don't think they're going to change up the starting quarterback. I don't see that. So I think it's just internet rumors. Again, we'll see if Will Muschamp addresses it, but I think it's just rumors. So SEC football too. What do you think the opening spread will be for the Ole Miss game? My thought is SC minus 2.5. Well, it depends a lot on what happens this weekend, I think, for sure. Because if Carolina goes out there and beats Texas A&M or gets blown out or what, like this weekend's result's gonna dictate the Ole Miss game. Night game at Vaught Hemingway. Ole Miss is very inconsistent. I think it's close to a pick 'em. I really do. I think it's probably close to a pick 'em. So, Tyler Knoll, yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, all speculation. I think he'll see the field at 15 will start. I agree with you 110%. I think it's one of those things where, again, I think Doty's going to see the field. I'd be surprised. I think they'll probably have some packages for him, but I think Colin Hill is your starter, no question. Let's see. Brian Welch, I understand the want for Doty to get in there. I'm one of the ones that want him in there, but we were so spoiled with Garcia and Shaw. Let's not forget we sat through Bentley throwing for 285 and throwing 2 TDs and 3 interceptions every week for almost 4 years. Yeah, again, like I said, Colin Hill is not the sexy option at quarterback. He doesn't do anything flashy. He doesn't do anything great, but I think fans underappreciate how valuable it is to have someone that's got a steady hand at the wheel, somebody who has the steady hand at the controls of this thing. And again, I want Colin Hill to play better. And I said this after the LSU game. It doesn't make me happy to say this, but Colin Hill's the best option. Bottom line. I'm not overjoyed because I wish there was a 5-star guy on the bench. I wish there was a guy who I felt like was the automatic answer and the automatic solution to the problems. But again, it comes back to the offense is not the problem. The defense is what the problem of this team is. So, and I get people saying, well, you need an offense that's going to, burn clock and stay on the field. We've done that. We have done that, guys. Outside of the LSU game, pretty much, we've done that. We've controlled the clock. We've ran the football. So, the biggest thing, and again, the biggest knock with Colin Hill is just, he has no mobility. The sacks are killers. I totally agree. And I agree that Luke Doty and guys like Dak Joyner should get on the field more and play more and have the chance to make an impact. But I just don't think thrusting a true freshman out there or a guy in Ryan Helinski that offers nothing that Colin Hill doesn't offer is the solution to South Carolina's problems. I just don't think so. So, Philip Carter Harris, Bobo isn't going to bench his boy Hill or change his 1999 scheme for Luke Doty. And that's the thing, too, I'll say this is like, I think it's crazy that people think that Mike Bobo is just going to bail on his guy after one pedestrian game. Like, you really think that? Like, no way. And then I want to address this too. People were saying, oh, yeah, they're one of the other rumors was, oh, yeah, there's finger pointing going on in the locker room, and people want, the players want Colin or Luke Doty to start. They don't want if our players are pointing the finger at anyone other than the damn defense, I have some major questions. That's for sure. So, let's see. Okay. Looks like it's coming up soon. Solo Bone, have you ever watched Friday Night Lights, the show? I've watched it a little bit here and there, not a ton, to be honest with you. Damian Burrows, at times our defense looks lost in year 5. That's unacceptable, especially with the talent on that side of the ball. I agree with you 100%. Again, like I said, it's baffling, honestly, to an extent. It's baffling. So it is baffling. Let's see. Tyler Knoll, I feel like the same game plan needs to apply against A&M like they did against Auburn. Put pressure on Mond to make him get out of the pocket. Don't let him sit there and pick us apart, and we have a chance. Yeah, agree. Again, I mean, no defense is good enough to do this, but especially South Carolina with their secondary, I don't think they're good enough to just sit back there. Hey, Kellen Mond, we're just going to give you all day to throw. Like, no, they're going to have to get pressure on Kellen Mond. So. Yeah, no, listen, it's definitely a team effort. You've got to sustain drives for sure. I agree with you 100%. Agree with you 100% for sure. Let's see, this presser is about to start, so just waiting on them to go live. Andrew Seymour, do you think we see a DC change after this season if Muschamp stays head coach? Well, that would be Travaris Robinson. I don't know. I don't know that Will Muschamp would fire his best friend, and that's unfortunate to say because, I mean, you think something needs to change, right? Like, you think something needs to change. So, let me get this pulled up. Let's see. Can you guys? Okay, you guys can see this. We're just waiting on it to start. Just waiting on it to start. Let's see. I'll continue to take questions while we wait. Damian Burrows, would Muschamp ever consider firing T-Rob? And that's my whole thing, dude. They're like best friends. So I don't know. I don't know that he would. I really don't know that he would, to be honest. Savannah Webster, Auburn beating breaks off LSU. So was Auburn a fluke or LSU a fluke? Will this weekend answer that? I think this weekend will help answer that. I don't know. I hate to call it a fluke. You know what I mean? I think 2020 is just crazy and teams are really inconsistent and stuff like that. But it's not a good look for the home team when Auburn's defense did to LSU what they did. It's definitely not a good look for the home team. So that is for damn sure. By the way, guys, I want to say thank you for keeping the banter today football related. Thank you. Seriously, I just, with obviously what today is and what's going on, thank you for keeping everything football related. So, Brad Martin, Jamie Chadwell, next head coach, possibly. I don't know. I mean, when is Will Muschamp gone? But I mean, maybe. I mean, what he's doing at Coastal's impressive. I mean, honestly, it's very, very impressive. So, Bowen, do you watch the Pat McAfee show? I used to listen to McAfee a lot, to be honest with you. Yeah, he does a great job. McAfee's hilarious, legend. So, let's see. Tony Stockman, defense needs to find some kind of swag. Well, yeah. I mean, I talked about the edge that South Carolina played with. The edge that Carolina played with against Auburn. I thought they had it then. It's hard to have swag when you're not playing well, though. You need to play well. So, Andrew Bowers, could we even try to offer Joe Brady? The least he could do is say no. I mean, yeah, for sure. Give him a blank check and say, you can come here. Write the amount down. I wonder what the delay is. It's taking them so long. We're just sitting here all waiting. Nathan Moore, at what point do you decide just on the off chance of incorporating other people at different positions?
Oh,
here we go.
Obviously, their staff and their team believe in him an awful lot and the confidence that they have in him.
Hold up.
Josh Kendall.
Can you guys hear anything?
Can
you guys hear that?
The team has already voted. We had a small collection of guys because we did have COVID testing this morning that we had provided transportation for them to go vote. But we polled the entire team, and it was just a handful of guys that had not voted yet that wanted to vote today.
Have you noticed them being more?
Can you guys hear anything or no? You can hear it?
More chatter about the election cycle this year at their level than you have heard in the past because of everything that we've seen.
Why
I wouldn't necessarily say about the election. I would say about the events going on in our country probably more than the election.
Why can I not hear it? What is going on?
Ben Brenner.
Hey, Will, I wanted to ask how much were you able to see kind of from Luke in terms of just obviously third stringers don't get a lot of reps during regular game week. How much more were you able to see from him over the bye? And do you feel like his role changes at all coming off those first 5 games?
Well, he continues to improve. It's been very impressive as far as the different things we're asking him to do because he's obviously different from Colin and Ryan.
Let me grab my head.
Athletically. So there's some different things that we're asking him to do at the quarterback position as opposed to what we're asking Colin and Ryan to do. So, but I think he's continued to progress with that package and has done a nice job.
Back to David.
Will, you guys are very familiar with Kellen Mond. In looking over the game film, I guess in the past couple of years, has there been one consistent thing that has enabled him to have as much success as he's had?
Well, I think he's been very accurate in our game. That's one of the things we looked at, coverage wise. You look at last year and some critical third downs, feel like we're in position. He threw the ball in there, made some really nice throws in those situations. Really the last 2 years, and I'd even say 3 years ago, the 24-17 ball game there in College Station. It's a 16-16 game here 2 years ago. They kicked the field goal to make it 19-16. They get the drive, convert 2 third downs, but it's a 26-23.
By the way, Muschamp said Colin Hill will start this week.
And then last year's game, I don't think that the final score was indicative of how the game went. It was a 13-3 game going into the fourth quarter. We didn't do anything offensively and got exhausted defensively and gave up a couple runs late and 17 points in the fourth quarter. But it's a 13-3 game, going into the fourth quarter. So he obviously has had 2 really good games against us the last 2 years. We've got to do a better job.
Gene Sapico.
Hey, Will, you were talking about opponent tight ends earlier. What about your guy Mullins? And can you kind of talk about how he's progressed since fall camp?
He's done a great job, really moving positions, Gene, and really having never been attached to the core of the formation and all of the different things that go into that position. Because in that position, you're involved in blocking of the run game. You're involved in protections. You're also involved in the
all
passing
this internet
game. So there's
rumors.
a lot of
That's
different things involved that he has never experienced.
I think this cut in late.
Speed wise, it creates a lot of issues for a defense.
This cut in late, so I think he said at the beginning. But I read it on Twitter. So
on the wheel route on the sideline. The vertical route on the nice, designed by Mike on the route on the 7 cut there for another explosive play. But he's a guy that can, certainly stretch the field vertically.
His makeup and personality like, would you say?
Kevion?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a quiet guy. He's very, very country. He's from Memphis, Tennessee, and you can tell it when he talks.
Mike Yuba.
Well, coming off the type of game that you had against LSU with the inability to stop the run as consistent as I'm sure you would have liked, knowing that you're going up against a team that likes to run the football a lot, how much does that excite this team knowing, that's how they want to most likely attack you?
Well, we've challenged our guys to understand what we're getting into, that we've got to play the run much better. I think we're certainly more than capable of doing that. We looked at some things schematically that we can do to help our guys, and we got to play better. We got to get off blocks and play much better as far as disengage and snag and getting off guys. And so we've addressed some of those things, and I think we'll play much better.
Pete Acabella.
Will, did you like what you saw out of your team during the bye week practices? And what areas specifically do you think they took strides and improved?
Well, I think there was a huge emphasis in the obviously defensively in the run game. And I think that we made some strides there. We did a lot of good work. I think offensively we got to protect the quarterback better and better timing in the passing game. And I thought we made some strides there. And we'll find out on Saturday night how many strides we made. That's the bottom line. It comes down to game day and how you play on game day. But we got good work and looking ahead at some opponents, and obviously a good start on Texas A&M.
Ben Briner.
Will, I wanted to ask, how much growth and development have you seen from Jordan Birch across the first 5 games, and where does he kind of fit into your kind of game plan, your expectations at this point?
Well, I think he's from game 1 to game 5. It's night and day from where he is. And that was, that was expected for us. We knew that there would be, the light would go off. And I think the light has gone off. I think he plays extremely hard. I think he understands more the expectation of down in, down out, and what you've got to do in this league and how you play. But he is a very physical, violent guy that can make plays on the ball, that can rush the passer, that can get off block and disengage. And he can do a lot of positive things for us. I'm excited about his future, excited about seeing him Saturday night.
Also, I know Kevion had something with the ankle at the end of the LSU game. You guys expect him to go this week?
Yes.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, well, 2 questions. I know you said you guys practice Monday night and get back to regular game week tomorrow. Is that still early morning practices for y'all, Wednesday and Thursday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess you mentioned Parker White doing kickoff duties now. Are there any more personnel changes or scheme changes you expect going into this A&M game?
No, that's about it. I mean, there's be some different guys that, on special teams, getting Cam back and some other guys that we'll look at on teams as far as coverage units and return units.
Hale.
Hey, sort of along the lines of younger guys or guys who haven't played a bunch the first half of the season, any guys that took advantage of some increased opportunities during practice, guys who got maybe some more reps that really
Well, again, I think that we ended all 3 days with a emphasis on younger guys participating. Rico Powers is a young receiver that continues to come on for us. Rashad Amos, a young running back, excited about the offensive lineman. Most of those guys, Vershawn has obviously played and started a game. Tyshawn Wanamaker's another player that we feel like continues to come on. Good movement inside. Jaheim Bell's made some strides at the tight end position. Got to have him continue to come on for us. I think Mo Kaba is another guy that, continues to improve at the linebacker position. We need him to keep coming for us. Alex Huntley, expect for him to play Saturday night. A guy that continues to make some strides, is now healthy off the ankle, and thought he did some really good things in the open date. And obviously, again, on Sunday night and last night in both of those practice and preparation. And there's some other guys that have made some strides. Those are the ones off the top of my head that I think have made continued to improvement that catch your eye, that obviously can help us as we continue to move forward.
Phil Kornbluth.
Hey, Will. In today's world of college football, how strange is it to be facing a starting quarterback for a 4th time? Is there some advantage to you as a defensive planner because you've seen Kellen Mond so much and you kind of maybe know his tendencies and know some things about what to expect?
No, because he's a good player. I don't know that it helps you at all, but no, he is a really good football player, an experienced guy. It's very unusual to see a guy in his 4th year as a starter, but to see where he's come as a freshman and how he's continued to progress every year, I think that, I think probably one of his most talented attributes is his toughness. This guy will stand in there. I mean, I think about last year, we rushed them pretty well. We got after him pretty good, and he got up every single time. TJ Brunson did have a targeting in that game, and it was a clean hit on the quarterback, but Kellen got right up and kept on playing. And I think his element of toughness, which I know impresses Jimbo from that standpoint in our conversation. So I have a lot of respect for the young man.
Back to David.
Well, looking way ahead here, but the bowl season this year, there's no requirement for wins or everything. Have you guys gotten any, direction from the NCAA, the conference office, the bowl commission about how that process will go? I mean, do you guys have to submit a bid? Will you be invited? Have you guys heard anything about that?
All bowl situations are controlled by our conference. So the conference, it'll all go through the conference, but we're getting ready for Texas A&M right now.
I guess patching on to that, I mean, do you have any doubt that you guys would be able to go in that situation, considering finances are what they are?
Chandler Mack.
Hey, Coach. Real quick, Texas A&M, they have the sixth worst rushing defense in the SEC. Can you talk to us what's been the emphasis on getting Kevin Harris and other running backs the ball just to maybe exploit that?
No different, Chandler, than every week for us. We've got to have the ability to run the football. I think the thing that jumps out at you is when I started talking about their defenses, their edge rushers, I think are very effective. And if you get into a one-dimensional game, it's going to be very difficult as far as blocking those guys. So we've got to stay with the run, which that's something I know we're committed to and Mike's committed to. And that's been something that every week is an emphasis for us, regardless of who we're playing, is finding ways to run the football.
Josh Kendall.
Well, given now that you're halfway through this 10-game conference-only schedule, has it been about what you expected it to be, and where do you think your group is at this point?
Well, I expected it to be tough every week, and it's been tough every week. And unfortunately, we're sitting here at 2-3. And, I didn't think we'd be in this spot, but this is where we are. And we got to continue to take them one at a time. And every week is a season and focus on that. And then we're focused on Texas A&M. This is where we are.
Are there any specific challenges to a 10-game conference-only schedule beyond just the fact that, every team you play is good to really good?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the there's exactly what you just said. There's some really good players and really good teams in our league and really good coaches in our league. And each week, that's what you're going to face.
Michael Espy.
Coach, how similar are Mike Bobo's and Jimbo Fisher's offenses, especially the way they like to use the tight ends?
Every week is a season.
An advantage for your defense, but is it a little bit easier maybe this week because you don't have to go against a scheme that's totally different than what they see all the time?
Mike, I think there's a lot of similarities in both guys and their backgrounds. I know both are committed to running the football. Both have play actions off all of the running game, which creates some issues in you in zone coverage. Both guys are going to be committed to pushing the ball down the field, whether it's off play action or some look. And both guys are going to attack you coverage wise, where they see some tendencies and they see some matchup issues. So I think that there's a lot of similarities between both. Whether it's off play action or some look, and both guys are going to attack you coverage wise, where they see some tendencies and they see some matchup issues. So I think that there's a lot of similarities between both.
Pete Ackerbelly.
Well, I know last came out, Jalen had found out he could play, and then he got in there to play. How much will it help that he had last week to go through knowing that he's going to play, and into this week knowing that he's going to play? Do you feel like it'll help him be even more ready for the field?
I think so, Pete. I think it would help him a little bit more, but we've done a lot of, crossover work where just, he's been able to work with Colin, and we do 7-on-7, good on good. So he's had that work in what we do offensively. So it wasn't like he wasn't practicing with our offense at times. So he was probably further along than we normally would be if we weren't going through this situation. But certainly having invested all the reps this past, 2 weeks in preparation, or week and a half at this point, and 2 weeks after Thursday, certainly would help. Mm-hmm.
Gene Sapico.
I think, Pete, I can't hear you.
I was going to say, I'm guessing his attitude probably is a little perkier too, knowing that you can get on the field.
You know what? Jalen's attitude's always been great. He's a very positive young man, and he's handled, those are all difficult situations when it's totally out of your control. And, I appreciate the NCAA giving him an opportunity.
All right, let's go to Gene now.
Will, how nice is it for you and good for the long run that going into the second half of the season, you don't have to make redshirt decisions on some of these young guys?
That's huge, Gene. I mean, that's a really good rule. That they came
It's
up
like I'm
with,
watching a
obviously, with
cartoon.
when I'm going back to last year with 4 games and being able to make those decisions. But obviously this year, the way things have kind of evolved in the situation that we're in, I think it's great. I think it was a great decision by the NCAA to allow us to not have to count a year against a young man, whether he's a senior or he's a freshman. And there's no question who knows what's going to happen moving forward as far as COVID and the different issues you deal with. To have a young man being able to go play in a game and not count against him, there's no question that's a huge benefit for everyone.
Colin Taylor.
Hey, well, I know a little off topic, but the secondary has obviously struggled at times this year, but JC's had probably his best year in terms of just general stats. I guess, what have you seen from him growth-wise? And I know he's pretty vital to this defense, but just how vital is he to you guys in the secondary?
Well, I think he's played extremely well. And even before this year, I think he's gotten a little more headline, obviously, when you have the game he had against Auburn. But he hasn't been targeted a lot probably in the last 2 seasons very much. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities. And when he's made plays on the ball. But fortunately, he had a game where he have impacted and affected the game more than he has before against Auburn. So I think he continues to improve and get better. He wants to challenge each week of going against whoever we think they may be throwing the football to and trying to get in that matchup as best we can, depending on, what we're doing schematically. So again, I think that he's having a really good season. I think he's been very consistent across the board each week in his performance and how he plays.
Makuba.
Well, going into the LSU game, you said that Israel was just strictly going to be playing corner. Is it a game-by-game scenario in terms of where you want to play him, in terms of playing corner or safety, or is that kind of just something that you feel like he'll play corner kind of moving forward?
Well, I mean, he gives you the flexibility to play multiple spots because he can handle and play multiple spots. So, at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for him and our football team. And if it's a corner, it's a corner. If it's at safety, it's at safety.
Do you anticipate him playing corner this weekend or being able to go back and forth?
Being able to go back and forth, starting out at corner.
Ben.
Hey, well, obviously you've seen Jimbo's offense going all the way back. I wanted to ask, how much has that offense evolved and changed, and also what kind of a sort of matchup problem is number 0 for them?
Well, Smith is a very difficult guy because he can obviously play running back and they can create some 2-back sets with him, as opposed to when you're thinking it's going to be a 1-back set. So that does create some issues for you. And I think he's very, he runs extremely well, but the guy competes really hard when he gets the ball in his hand. He really runs hard and he's quick. He's shifty in space and a very difficult guy to get down in space. We got to bring our feet on him. We got to wrap him, but he is a good football player. I think that we all evolve and change, but I know philosophically, Jimbo believes in the run game. He believes in the play action off the run games. So whatever he's building from that and whatever he feels like is best suited for his offensive line and what his back's like, and then the play actions off that, there's a lot of carryover probably through the years in the passing game that I would say is similar. But he's not a guy that focuses on plays. He focuses on players. He's going to focus on trying to get the ball to 85, to 0, to his backs. And that's something that always stuck out with me with Jimbo is it's not about plays. It's about players and what we can do to get guys the ball. And so, again, he does a very good job.
David.
I'm curious, Will, before the Auburn game, did you guys talk with the team, leading up through that week about how USC had not beaten Auburn as a member of the SEC?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else for Coach? See any other hands? All right.
I'm good.
We're all
Have a good day.
All right.
All right. That was a little bit of a shorter one. That was actually a shorter one. Okay, then. All right. So, yeah, like I said, that was a little bit of I think the last presser he had, he went on for like 40 minutes. So, yeah, Colin Hill starting at quarterback. Let me take these off. Colin Hill getting the start at quarterback. I can't say that I am surprised at all. So, yeah. So, anyways, I'll take your questions, comments as we close here. We got about 7 minutes left, but nothing groundbreaking from that, but except for Colin Hill is your starter. And like I said, I really thought that I thought it was just internet rumors most likely, and it turns out that it is. So Colin Hill is going to be QB1. He's going to start. Will Muschamp did say that Luke Doty and Ryan Helinski have gotten more reps, but overall right now, Colin Hill is your starter. And again, it does not surprise me in the slightest. So does not surprise me in the slightest. Also, some good news. It looks like Alex Huntley will be available. So that's good news. That's very good news. So again, taking your questions, comments, calls as well, 843-790-3377. You guys hit me with your questions, like I said. So, so I did post some comments on Twitter. I'll probably post more here in just a second, but I did post some of them on Twitter, Solo Bowens. If you want to check those out, you can. H-Man998, anybody remember Chris Smelly? Those were some interesting days. Yes, I remember Chris Smelly very well. Savannah Webster, maybe it's a mind game and they will send out Doty. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it. So, Jason Wilkes, it's hard being a Gamecock fan. I'm only 10 minutes from Clemson Stadium, my friend. That is brutal. Living in the upstate right now, I can't imagine doing that. Michael Valerie says, why is Izzy playing corner and safety? Is he Deion Sanders? No, he's good, but he needs to be great at a position. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're trying to move him around, get him in different spots, whatever. I mean, I like Izzy at safety personally, bringing that length, bringing that height. But, I mean, everybody in the secondary's got to play better. Outside of J.C. Horn, really, everybody in the secondary's got to play better. So, no question. Let's see. Savannah Webster, do you think there's an advantage for quarterbacks they have no film on? Finley, for example. I mean, there are some advantages, sure, if you want to, if you want to look at it that way, but it's kind of like they just asked Will Muschamp, is there an advantage to playing a quarterback that, this is his fourth year and you've got a ton of film on him and he's like, no, he's a good player. So maybe there's an advantage, but I mean, when you're starting a brand new guy and you're starting a true freshman, I think it's more of a disadvantage for the team because you don't know how he's going to perform. You don't know if he's going to go out there and lay an egg or if he's going to be great. So you really don't have any idea. H-Man 9-8, blitz, blitz, blitz. That's my advice to the defense. You got to get pressure. You got to get really with this offense too, because you take a look, as good a season as Kevin Harris has had, look at Isaiah Spiller. 85 carries for 512 yards, 6 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns. You got to stop the running game in this A&M offense. You've got to stop the running game. You're going to have no chance if you can't stop the running game. So, again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. By the way, if you have not done so, check out the podcast drop this morning. Alex McGrath and I obviously talking about everything over the bye week, the Luke Doty stuff, the quarterback situation as a whole. We also break down the Texas A&M game that's upcoming. So we got into a lot today on the show, and guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love and support. Obviously, you were the guy. You were what makes this thing tick. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll obviously get much deeper into A&M as we go throughout the week. Obviously, tomorrow I'll give my best bet and SEC gambling picks. And then Thursday, I'll have my full preview and breakdown of the game. And then Friday, my prediction. But yeah, for sure. So let's see. Savannah Webster, can it get worse than a 14 QBR? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't much think so. You guys let me know, by the way, how do you like the new setup? Obviously, we're breaking in the new setup today. Got our little board over here as well. So I thought this was an upgrade, honestly, from the TV setup. I thought this was very much so an upgrade. So would love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. But H-Man 99843 all day. Keep the linebackers home for the run. I mean, you're going to have to. You have to stop the run. And the way LSU ran all over you, it just can't happen again. You're going to have no chance in this football game. So you got to stop the run. You got to make Kellen Mond beat you again. Kellen Mond's been really, really good this year. Again, I was taking a look at the stats. Kellen Mond, 12 touchdown passes to just 2 interceptions. Kellen has been really, really good this season. But I think you've got to make Kellen Mond beat you. It's going to be just so demoralizing to this South Carolina defense if they can just run it all over you. And then I feel like you really have no chance. So, again, I feel strange about this game right now. I don't know. I feel strange about it because the spread is 7.5. And I don't know. You feel like, what are South Carolina's chances? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's because back-to-back games with Auburn and LSU, I was so fired up, so amped up, felt good about the games, and now I'm kind of back. I got kind of knocked back down from that LSU game back to where I was going into Vandy, where I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I truly don't even know what to expect. Again, I want to feel optimistic at home and what have you, but it's just tough. I mean, A&M's a really good team, top 10 football team, so who knows? Obviously, again, we'll break down A&M, get fully in depth with the Aggies later this week. But, guys, going to go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate you all tuning in. This was fun, obviously, listening to Coach Muschamp's comments. Like I said, if you have not done so, check out the podcast that dropped this morning. Alex McGrath and I talking about everything from the past week, breaking down the A&M game as well. And, yeah, we'll be doing the Daily Crow noon to 1 every single day. Also, watch party Saturday at Overtime Bar and Grill. Watch party Saturday, Overtime Bar and Grill. The game is at home, but if you don't have tickets and you need a place in the city to watch the game, come out to Overtime Bar and Grill. I'll be doing my pregame show there 6 to 6:30 as well. So going to be a really, really good time, guys. Come on out. Great venue, great people, food and drink specials. You can't beat it. So, guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much.